My name is Ahmad.
Hi, my name is Sierra.
My name is Danny, and we're here on One That Needs to Know 101. So, we have a few topics on our minds today. We can either pick up off where we left just a few moments ago, or we can start off with something that's up to you guys.
What were we saying about?
You were saying that Democrats and Republicans doesn't really differentiate because they're just titles.
I'm not saying that they don't differentiate in their views, but what I'm saying is that I don't look at every Democratic person, every Republican person, or any Democratic person for any means, and just assume that all of their views are the same. Because even when you look at if you follow the debate, a lot of people who are Republicans are actually against Trump. They're trying to not have him in there because even though Trump is a Republican and the people that he's running with, as far as trying to get the nominee, are also Republicans, the people are not really feeling what Trump is saying. He's pretty much trying to turn the state, I don't know if I'm using the right word, but like a utilitarian state where it's like, we're going to control everything, and, if who doesn't agree with us, we're going to do whatever we can.
A totalitarian?
Yeah, anybody with common sense would want Trump to be in office.
Right, but he's a Republican, so what I'm saying is that, you can't say Republican and then everybody that falls under Republican is like they're all on the same thing. So
I don't think that they all fall on the same thing, but I think some of them have some of the same characteristics.
I guess you could say that. You think of the word like conservative and all that and things like that. I also think that, it's good to conversate with people who are outside of your opinion. The reason why I say that is because the only way you're gonna get to like a better conclusion, if everybody in the room is talking about the same thing, they're all on the same page, then what are we really talking about? All we're doing is agreeing on everything. You know what I'm saying? Even in a relationship, for example, if everybody's just like yes to everything, then it gets stale real quick. So it's good to talk to people who have different views. At least you can compare, you can contrast, you can come to a better conclusion if people are disagreeing, and you can kind of find the agreement. And I think that fosters a way better discussion than if we're just sitting here, we're all on the same page. It's like,
well, I'm not saying it in the sense of we have to agree with everything, but in the same sense, it's going to be very difficult possibly for that other person to see your views, because we can have a discussion about anything, but at the end of the day, you're supposed to respect that person.
Yeah.
So I'm not really going to want to have a conversation with somebody who has opposite views if I feel like within that conversation I'm going to get disrespected to the point where we can have a problem.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't think the disrespect comes from him having opposite views. I think that's more of a interpersonal thing where it's like, we're all talking and we disagree on a subject, there should be no need why we should be disrespectful.
Yeah, hostile.
It happens though.
It happens, but that's a personal issue. Yeah, that's not something to deal with everybody else. That's where it comes into, is your mind educated or uneducated? Because the educated person is going to take it and be like, all right, that's just somebody's view on it. Nothing I can do. I have my view, they have theirs. Cool.
That's it.
As long as they don't put their hands on you, you straight. But an uneducated mind
insult you intelligently and you feel some kind of way.
You can feel some kind of way, but
I'm not saying I'm gonna curse you out. I'm just saying,
and that's what we're saying too. An ignorant mind is gonna curse you out and start a confrontation.
I can curse you out and not curse you out.
Exactly, but we're saying the opposite. I think you're confused with what we're saying. We're saying if you take it to the next level, as where you get to the point where you're actually cursing that person out in public, you up looking crazy, jumping across the table trying to hurt them or whatever, you take it to the next level, you in that sense are the uneducated one and you look crazy, because anybody in their sane mind is going to be like, chop it up and be like, okay, that's their opinion. You can feel your way and feel assaulted, but you're not going to take it to the next level to where it has to be up there in a catastrophe and all these problems have to happen.
A perfect example of that is exactly what we was talking about earlier with the protests. The guy that he walked down, he got snuffed by the white dude. There was no need for that. He was voicing his opinion, and even though you might not feel what he's saying, like that guy didn't feel what he was saying, there was no need for him to go over there and hit him and all that other shit. And then the cops, that's a whole nother.
That's unnecessary.
A whole other thing, but yeah, basically, you can have a disagreement between people, but there's no need.
It's necessary to have disagreements between people. That's how we grow. But the physical contact is not always necessary. It's sometimes very unnecessary, and it just pushes you further away from the solution than you already
Because then
are.
the subject changes now. Now it's about the fighting and
Exactly.
all that rather than what we was talking about, and it just makes no sense.
That's how I see it most times, but I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta
But that I feel like that when the person puts their hands on you first. That's why as long as
Yeah.
nobody ain't putting your hands on it,
You can talk all day.
Exactly.
You can argue all day.
argue all day. We can talk about the
Yeah.
stars, the sky, the moon, the solar system, whatever. But as long as ain't nobody's hands being put on us, we good. It's never gotta go to that level. What's it called? The question I was gonna, you weren't here, but I asked them a question. I said, is sex really bad? Like, is there such thing as bad sex? Or are you just too afraid, or is a person just too afraid to speak up?
Bad sex. I don't know. Maybe people get off, and I guess it's all good in the end.
No, but I'm saying, you know how people have horror stories. Oh, I've had the worst sex over, or oh, he has the worst sex ever. And you gotta kind of think about it. Is it bad sex? Like, is the sex really bad? Or are you just too afraid to speak up and say what you like and what you don't like? And see what that person is gonna say.
No, baby.
I mean, I
sex
guess
is
with
bad.
the- with
Sex
your-
is bad. You know.
I guess it's kind of
Not
like,
necessarily.
if it's not satisfying, I guess.
If it's not satisfying, wouldn't you open your mouth to say
Only a
something?
fucking idiot wouldn't say something.
Okay, but most times people who say that they have bad sex, you ask them, did you say something? Did you try and change? They'll be like, no, I just let it be bad. Like, why didn't you say something? Why you say that wasn't working for me? Because if you say something, it could change. Maybe the person will do something different to where you are being orgasmed, or maybe you are being aroused.
Yeah.
Because you never know what that person is open to if you don't say. A closed mouth don't get fed.
Well, I would assume that before the situation happened, y'all had that discussion. Because typically, before you get naked with somebody, you have 1 or 2 or maybe 3 text messages of what is it that you like. I'm not gonna lay on my back and let you dagger me with a 10-inch penis and be in pain. I'm not going to do that. If you let someone do that to you, then you need to drop out and get a G.
So
because
like right
that's
before,
what you need.
so if you know that dude coming over and y'all about to fuck, so you gonna just say, hold on, y'all, I ain't know all this dagger and shit, like before y'all see that. That's what I'm trying to, like, you say you have to, you do text messages back and forth about it.
Come on, regular people have conversations with the opposite sex
I get
about
that.
those conversations, so therefore you
So you just wake
know
up in the morning,
what
like,
it is.
let's say y'all slept and y'all wake up in the morning, you gonna talk about, this is what I wanna do, like, y'all not just gonna jump into it, like, kind of go with the flow of it. You gotta, like, discuss, like,
I'm not talking.
You gotta-
I'm done.
you gotta discuss, like,
Y'all can have this conversation.
not for real, like,
Y'all can
you
talk.
gotta discuss, like,
I'm good.
the syllabus of what we're gonna do
I-
with sex.
At some point in time, I feel like you should discuss it. If not during, then before or after, because I don't feel like it's fair to say. Because when this question came to me, I was literally sitting there thinking about like bad sex, like all the bad sex stories I've heard or experienced, and it's just like I have to really sit there and think about it. Are we really having bad sex? Or is it just because we're too afraid to speak up and say something? Because at some point in time, you have to open your mouth. Because the person's not just off rip gonna, I have telekinesis, I know what she likes. No!
Yeah,
That's not gonna happen. So if you don't like the way he's sucking your nipple, then you need to speak up and say something. Oh, a little soft, a little rough. Like, and then if you say, oh man, the way he sucked my nipple sucks so bad. Well, did you say anything?
Yeah, I mean, if anything like that, would probably be like if y'all.
Because you
if
never know
y'all
how
in the
good
act
or
of
capable
doing it.
somebody's of doing something until you say something.
I
Like,
definitely feel like people have like a lot of fantasies that they're scared to like be
voice.
looked at a certain type of way if they try to voice it and they don't want to get like a certain reaction. So I think people are afraid to really experience like the whole spectrum of what they like because they don't want the other person to feel like some type of way or whatever or look at them some type of way. But
And that
as
comes
far
from
as,
because
like-
you close mouth don't get fed.
like for me, for example, like I definitely, I get the whole sex talk and all that stuff like that, but for the most part, I don't really, I like going with the flow of it, and then kind of like while we're in the moment, then we kind of, switch it up depending on how she's feeling, what she's saying, and how she's responding to what I'm doing and things like that. And then, when she returns a favor, you know what I'm saying, she'll pretty much people need to respond basically. Like if you're just sitting there taking it and you're not, either you're not moaning or you're not doing something to let the other person know if you like it or don't like
Exactly.
it. You don't necessarily have to say, I don't like being with a thick ass penis or some shit like that. I don't feel like that needs to be necessarily said, especially like if it's in the act. Like the guy should be able to look and see like you kind of look uncomfortable.
But that's the thing. Not every guy's capable of being able to look and see a lot shit like that. Some guys just be so into the act of sex that they're not aware of how the female is feeling.
That's
so you have to speak up.
That's true. That's true. But at the same time, it works on the other side too. Like, she might not want to say nothing to make him like,
feel bad.
Feel bad or just like not take him out of the moment or whatever. Maybe she just wants to like be in the moment with it. But
okay,
but I find that real funny.
Because when a man ain't feeling it,
if I got on top of you and you didn't like it, you're gonna move me. You're gonna do what you want me to do to you. You're not gonna wait for
all types of adjustments.
Okay. I disagree. No.
It works on both sides. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm looking at it from like a male and a female side.
The only time a situation like that would even happen is if you just met this person and y'all just fucked. Like that's the only way that would even have to be a situation, because if you're a person who gets to know people prior to laying down with them, then you have that chemistry, because that's what you need for good sex is chemistry.
Yeah, but I mean,
if you met her Monday and you fucked her Thursday, of course that sex might be a little awkward because you don't know shit about shorty.
Yeah, I mean that's when you just put the general stuff on there. You know what I'm saying? So that everybody kind of like it's like
you said the general playlist.
Yeah, and then when you get to know, and then when you get to
Gen 99 jams.
And then when you get to know the person, then that's when you start going deeper into the fantasies and all that stuff. When you first meet somebody, you ain't trying to.
Child, please, I know a lot of people that got freaky diggy as fuck. They
those
take
people.
me or leave me.
Yeah, those are there's definitely
I'm
those
put it
people
on your
there. But what
ass.
I'm
You got
saying
two
is that,
choices. You gonna lay down, you gonna get up.
Yeah, there's definitely those type of people. I'm not saying like that, but the majority situation is like a lot of people are just more general when you first meet. Like when you first meet somebody, you don't just start talking about religion and stuff like that. Those are stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then like I said, it's like there's people that do it, but generally speaking,
and those people definitely do be like.
Generally speaking, you know what I'm saying, there's certain things that you don't talk about, don't do until you know the person more, and you get more comfortable with them.
Yeah, because if you hit the wrong nerve, you might curb your own self, like, because people especially with today and our generation, people are not very receptive of things they don't want to hear or like or are in disagreement with. If something doesn't arouse their ear, they ain't trying to hear it, and they'll curve you real quick, be like, oh, word, nothing's wrong with that, but that's gonna kill you. And that's how it is today. So like, I definitely agree with what Armand's saying. Like, you have to build that comfortability with that person before you bring up. I'm not saying you didn't say that.
What are you talking?
I'm lost. So he just repeated what I said in a different way.
I guess.
Because I could have swore I just said you get started before you fuck her.
Nobody said you didn't say that.
If I go to the bar, right, or I go to the club and shit, and I pick up a chick, and we go home, we know we're gonna fuck on the first night. We just whatever.
That's a one night stand.
That's a one night stand sex, and that's two different sexes.
No, it's technically the same thing because
no, it's not.
One thing I'm not gonna do with a girl I just met is I'm definitely not licking her pussy.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
I do know that. I might lick a random girl's pussy. I'm gonna lick a random. I do know. I met you in the club and you talking about we going home to go fuck. I'm definitely not licking your pussy. I'm not doing it. This is not up for discussion. Like, this is a fact.
So how long you need to know her?
No, cause you know what? The same girl he just said he pussy. He gonna fuck her if they do actually somewhat make it.
No, but he's talking about the first night.
Bruh. Basically, like, anybody that you meet, you don't have to be.
Yeah, but that's a one night stand. Like
right,
that's.
But even if I met her, let's say at a library, she's a church girl. Let's say she's a church. I met her at church. Just because she go to church, I'm still not gonna lick her pussy in the first. I don't care how.
I'm not saying because you met her in a club, you're not. See.
The time, like.
I'm good.
You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
So somebody gets it. Somebody.
Have you ever had bad sex?
I I definitely had sex that was unsatisfying. Like, you know,
Okay, would you classify it as that?
smashing a girl for 2 hours and still can't get enough. Like, it's definitely like,
Whoa.
like I'm there like almost fucking sweating, yo. I'm like, fuck, yo, like,
Well, okay.
No offense.
But why not?
Wait, hold on. Wait, I gotta be an attorney right now. I gotta be an attorney.
She had to be hella loose, so like.
No, first, bitch, wait.
Whose attorney you gonna be? His?
No, bitch, I'm representing her because that's
Oh,
how
no, okay. Come on, because I'm finna
If
be
it was
the
unsatisfying
attorney.
for you, it couldn't have been that great for her if it took you 3-4 hours.
Hold up.
what are you talking about?
Depends if the bitch was loose.
Yeah.
That's why she's
It's
not getting
different.
satisfied
It's
either.
definitely
It depends on how big his thing was.
It's definitely.
If you lose, it don't matter how big
Sometimes,
that's
wait, it
you've been
depends.
ran through.
It depends
Yeah,
because
it don't
you
matter
have
how big
certain
it is.
levels of brain through there. I'm sorry,
Once
you
you-
do.
once
Pussy
you-
is
You have,
last
you
year.
have certain degrees of vagina.
Once the
And all of them should be elastic.
No,
Yeah,
as in you have
you
certain,
know
you
what
have
I'm
certain
saying?
degrees of
Ain't
vagina.
no
So even
friction
if
no more.
a girl is loose with some niggas, if they go in her, she gonna feel that shit and she's gonna. And then if she gets with somebody that's not as,
But
I'm
it
talking
might
about
be
her.
different.
But
I'm not
if
talking
that-
about her. I'm talking about me. I didn't get my nut off until like I didn't even get my nut
Yeah,
off.
and like I said, if
Why
you
she
didn't
did-
get your nut off, imagine how frustrated that shit was
What
for
are
her.
you talking about? You can make a girl come like within 15 minutes without even sticking your dick in her pussy.
Not
Really?
necessarily.
How?
She can.
How?
A chick
I don't
need-
come
a
easily,
chick-
so
a chick
please
don't
do
need-
explain.
A chick don't need it.
It depends on. I will say it does depend on the female because some girls they
Look at girl
just
pussy. make her come,
you
look
touch
at
their
titties,
titty and they
make her come.
done.
Different women have different.
You
What
fucking
call
with
it?
virgins if you touch a bitch titties and she came. That's
What?
come on. Did you come?
You got- every girl is not the same. Different girls have
Exactly.
different, right? That's what I'm saying. So if you suck on a girl's some girls they respond differently to different stimulation. If you suck on a girl's titty, she might just well get an orgasm off of that shit. If you might not get it, that doesn't exclude the other billions of women out there that might get it. Like I'm not saying that I personally know women that get off with sucking on a titty, but you can't. You don't need to stick your dick in a girl to make her come. Like there's different ways to make her come.
That's true.
Yeah.
You definitely have to do that, but most guys think that that's just the only way.
Yeah, most guys think
And and I wouldn't even say that most guys think that's the only way. Most guys act like that's the only way
Yeah.
because that's the only way that they want to do.
And those are the ones.
But they want
that-
everything else in return.
And those are the ones that you get when you're talking about like bad sex or unsatisfying sex, because the reason why it's unsatisfying is because all you're doing is the same shit. And it could be the guy's fault. All he's doing is just let's fuck, doggy style, boom, 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 boom. That's it. You know what I'm saying? After a while, it's like that shit gets whack after a while.
I think what you asking for, huh?
I was scratching my head. You ain't see me, I was like, ooh.
What I think it is that when people repetition does get boring, and like that's what like with an old relationship, I think bad sex will come into play is when like y'all like you said consistently doing the same thing over and over. Now with a first time just bad sex, I feel like that's bad sex because you probably didn't say nothing. Now if you've been having sex with this person for a while and the sex gets bad but it wasn't bad at first, that means that something needs to be switched up or something. It doesn't necessarily mean that the sex is bad. It just means like either you're no longer speaking up or things are getting boring to you and you need to switch it up. People just think, oh no, they sex just suck now. Oh, now I don't want to do this with them. And then that's why couples fail because people don't really know. But sex is just as important of a relationship as everything else because a human actually needs sex to be as completely healthy as completely 100% possible, 100% healthy. I mean, like that's a part of health. Like a healthy sex drive is a part of your everyday health. Like the average human, I'm not saying young kids, but the average human needs to implicate sex into their life to be well-rounded. Like that's something you need. It's something your body is what's created to do. So of course you have those feelings and stuff, but those feelings change. Those people, like you said, they come in like they have different fantasies and stuff that they want to explore, and that's why shit gets boring to them because they're like, oh well, I've been with this person for forever. We don't do nothing different, and I want to do all this. And that's again like you don't speak up. Like I feel like each way it can go either way, but all around, bad sex comes from one party or both parties not saying anything at all. Because anything can change, but you never know if you don't say nothing.
And I definitely think that as far as like the first time, like if you, I don't know if you meet a girl for the first time and you fuck a girl for the first time, let's say like y'all met for the first time and then y'all fucking for the first time, right? I think that there's definitely, I don't think that it's necessarily, now, bear with me for a second, that it's necessarily possible to have bad sex in the sense that, I keep going back to it being like unsatisfying, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you fucking go for the first time, just the act of fucking somebody new is gonna make the experience better. Even if you fuck that person the same way that you fuck somebody you've been fucking for a minute.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
And that's actually been scientifically proven by them. They actually.
By who? And what facts did that? How many people participated in this study? Like,
how many thoughts did America make?
Basically what the study was is they did a study. It's basically like, okay, I'm not even gonna go through this like the necessary actual study, but basically the outcome was that dudes pretty much have a bigger nut when they fucking new shit. Like your body actually ejaculates more.
And when America tried to sign up for this,
that's because you're excited.
And but that's what I'm saying. They he made me forget my next point.
You said the dude is scientifically proven he nuts more when he fucks a new bitch than the old bitch. And if you keep fucking the same one over and over and over again, they did a study with like rats, which is what they use to like test differences between humans and also, Continue for you with your thought.
Yeah. So basically, when they did the rat studies, the rats that kept fucking the same female, they, after you get a nut, you get tired, right? After the guy gets a nut, he gets tired. But, so when he's fucking the same female, after a while, he lost interest in the female. But then when they put a new female in there, he got aroused again. And then when they consistently put new females in there, he pretty much, almost like he never got tired. Like the fact of a new female being put into the situation rather than the same one, even though he just nutted like 5 minutes ago, they put the new female in there, he's already like back at it. So I definitely think that,
like porn.
Yeah, basically. Tommy, yeah. But yeah, basically, that's what I was basically saying. Like, I don't think the fact of it being a new person definitely adds to the sexual pleasure of it in itself. And also, yeah, basically that. Yeah.
I feel what you're saying. You have anything to say because you was making faces over there? I was like, you sure?
Stay making faces.
Let's see. This is what you gonna do. So what was your topic that you was telling us about? What? How don't you remember?
All I know is it ain't my fault this time.
How was it your fault anytime?
What?
How was it your fault anytime?
Oh no, from the first time. It ain't me.
It ain't. Oh my god.
Might as well have been that damn discussion.
Shit, I talked. That's all I know.
Went in my damn brain.
What discussion?
From earlier, but no, I don't remember it now. And it's pissing me off.
It was
some kind of way.
Let me see. Let me think about it.
Alright, the first thing, maybe you might remember if we just go back to what we was originally saying.
No.
I don't know. I don't think you were here yet.
No, I mean, like she said when we started talking about it, maybe
No.
like, we were talking about like the Chicago thing.
Nope, because I don't follow politics. Therefore, I do not speak about them.
No, that's not. Well,
Like that.
that's not what I was trying to accomplish. But
They saying let's backtrack.
I know what he meant,
What's it called?
but like I said, it wasn't gonna work.
Or not? Why not backtrack?
Cause it's not gonna work.
It could if you help.
It's
I
not
don't remember.
gonna
Can
work.
you remember?
Do you not think that I haven't been sitting here for the last 30 minutes trying to think about what it was I
You've
wanted
been
to
giving
discuss?
commentary and talking to us. How am I supposed to know you thinking about several other different things?
Because I'm
too?
always thinking about something. Literally.
How am I supposed to know about several other different things? Ooh, we Jesus. I'm trying to think about what it was, but I really don't remember.
I don't think I told you.
Well, no, because we was talking to Kayla about a bunch of different stuff.
Oh no, that's because I had commented on what she had said about her grandparents. Because that's what you were gonna discuss, I believe.
No, mine is a sister, but that is just as important because it's true. I would that you stop like Chuck. It's a wrap. I can't. If I have your child, you might as well have married me before I had it because after that kid is here, and I tell every guy this, you ain't going nowhere until that kid is 18. If we ended up saying we don't want to be together before that kid hits 18, that's cool. We ain't got to sleep together no more. We ain't got to sleep in the same bed no more. But we will be in the same damn house. You will have your tricks at Motel 6. I don't care where you got them at. You just want to be in the house.
I hope that child become more fucked up than it could have been without that.
Be alright. Because the point of me doing that is not for, it's not for a child. Oh, I have a home that's not broken. Of course, I'm going to keep it 100 with my child and be like, look, me and your daddy ain't together, but this is so you have access to both of us. So there ain't no, oh, I'm going over to mom's next week, or I'm going to dad's next week, I gotta do this, and oh, mom won't let me go to dad's, now dad's mad. There ain't gonna be no back and forth, and oh, I'm tired of having to make up 2 beds, my parents fighting over me. Ain't gonna be no fighting over you. We both got the same access to your
Oh, so you're
ass.
gonna be roommates.
Pretty much, yep. So that's what you need to know you're signing up for before you get me pregnant, because that's exactly what's happening. Roommates for life until they hit 18. And if we have more than one, consecutively. It's a wrap. That's how I want it to be. I grew up in a home where I didn't have both my parents had access for a while, and I like that shit. I'm not gonna have my kids go through that. I'm not saying necessarily that person that I'm with, that their father has to stay with me and be with me, no. But we're gonna be in the same household, so our child have access to us. Yes, of course, because that's how it's supposed to be. Why should the child have to suffer? Because to me, in my
How is
opinion,
y'all suffering?
the child is suffering because he got to go cross town and do all this extra shit that he need not have to do had you just waited for the right person to come along. But because you had a child with somebody that you didn't take the time to figure out if it was gonna work or not. Now this child has to suffer. He got to go back and forth across town, here and there, sleep in this bed. I'm here with mom this weekend. I'm with dad this weekend. Oh man, mom and dad are fighting about custody of, or
So that would bother you, but not necessarily bother your child.
they're not gonna have a chance for.
No, I'm just saying, as in as far as because it hasn't happened yet, so that it just
bothers me. Yes, for a child to go through that.
It frames a little different.
What do you mean?
I'm thinking of it from a psychology standpoint, in the sense of you would rather have the one picture of, everybody under the same roof for, accessibility. I get that. Y'all can date other people.
Of course.
Which is where my gray comes in. Because,
I can see where the gray comes in.
Because what happens?
What happens when you want to move out and move in? With
No,
that?
not even necessarily move out. But what happens when the accessibility changes?
What do you mean?
Because if he dates somebody and gets serious, then that accessibility, that picture ain't that picture no more. Because that picture got a little gray in it. Because what kind of image does that set the child?
Technically, still, but
No, because that's what I'm saying. We don't have to sleep in the same room.
No, I know, but I'm saying because I know that you're making the right decision.
I have an answer for your question because I know I understand the question now. The answer to that question is bitch don't wait, because you walking into a relationship with this man knowing, because he gonna know that this is what it is. So if he doesn't decide to tell her that, that's his issue, because he's gonna have to agree to this.
That's not what I'm talking about.
So what are you saying?
I'm talking about, okay, for example, you got a little girl, little boy, daddy, whatever, in the same house. Growing up, this is what I see, mommy and daddy. Say y'all split up at, say, 10. Y'all ain't told people yet. Then, you get to the explanation part, because now you got to explain that. Now that image is not the same as it was before, because at first y'all was in love and y'all was together and it was seen, it was felt.
Mm-hmm.
Now
so it's
that
still a
image
fabrication,
is different, where it's like, okay, they're in the same house, Cause
So it's technically a lie.
Cause you know, in elementary school, like you're there, but you're not like all the way there. Like you kind of see it, but you're not paying attention to it. Then middle school, you still kind of see it, but you're not really paying attention to it because you like, well, Daddy take me to games, so it don't. Bitch, I don't give a
But then
shit.
again, I mean.
Then you get old enough to understand it, and now you want to know what is it supposed to look like. Cause what it looked like at first, it no longer actually looks like that. Cause now I'm 16, 17.
And
I caught the fuck on like, okay, so my mama and daddy, they love each other, just not enough to stay together, but they're here for me, love me. I get it. But does that in turn fuck up your child in the sense of now when they get in relationships, their view of how they see that going to be reflected from what my parents did?
It might very well be, because I can't sit here and say that my actions won't have bad effects or horrible effects on my kids. I can't say that, but what I can say is I'm going to do what I think is best as a parent, how I think some things that didn't happen for me should have been done, and it wasn't because my mother was a bad mother or my dad.
No, I'm not saying it makes you a bad mother. I get it, though.
I know, but I'm saying there's just, I feel like it's this way with every child. Every child has a way that they see that their parents did things, and they say, I don't want to do it like that. I want to do it this way. And for me, this is how I'm going to do it, because I'm not, with me, how I'm going to raise my kids, and just in general how I feel it should be, is you can't, I'm going to be very honest with my children. Like, my cousin was with her child, and I always thought that was the way to go, because you can't hide a child from anything for very long, especially within the first 5 years. So why try to? The best thing you can do for your child is preparation. The best thing I can do for you is prepare you. If I hide you from it and let you know that it's, and make you pretend that it's not there, once you come into contact with it, you're going to be boo-boo the fool. And then that's when I feel like I fell. So I see what you're saying with like, how would that affect the child to see like, yo, parents was madly in love. This is that. Oh God, they was so in love.
Versus the whole,
we're in different rooms,
the trauma thing where it's like, okay, da da da. Cause I get exactly what you're saying. I had that, but I enjoyed that only because in both of my houses was happy.
And that's what I was also going to say. It's not going to be an unhappy
home. Oh yeah,
no,
it's going to be like depressed or nothing.
No, exactly, because one, with keeping it 100 with my children, I'm going to have had, before I even have children with the person I have children with, I'm going to have had a conversation with them to be sure that they're just as okay with keeping it 100 with our kids as I am. Because when I say I'm going to keep it 100, I'm going to keep it 100, because I'm never, ever going to have, like, once I have a child with somebody, if I do fall out of love with that person, I'll never stop loving that person, especially after they gave me some kids. So, and I'm that type of person now. Like, there's mad exes I'm not with, I don't care for, but still I love for them. Like, I don't hate them, because I feel like that's unnecessary. Because at some point in time, you saw something in that person that you did like. You might not care for it or like it anymore, but that doesn't mean you have to shun that person and make it horrible. And that's why I feel as two adults. So what you're saying could be so we can keep that happy environment that you have for the going back and forth. You enjoyed it because it was peace, because the two parents wasn't together and going at each other's necks. That's where it's up to us to be adults, because it's like, why do you have to go? Why do parents, when they decide they don't want to be together, go at each other's throats? Because one, what's the point of it? And the only effect that it has on any long-lasting effect that it has is on the child. So that's when you have to put your side. That's what a lot of people don't do as parents. They forget that it's no longer completely about you. It's a wrap. Your time is over until this kid hits 18. So that's when I, as a parent, would take myself out of the equation. I'm never going to be a mother to keep. If me and my son don't work out, I know it's a long shot to get somebody to stay with me in the house and make shit work. And if they ended up then moving out, I'm never going to be that mother that, oh no, you can't see your kid. Oh, can he stay one more day and I'll bring him home? Oh no, you can't do that. No, I'm not gonna do that, because I feel like parents create that hostile environment.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But now you're saying, because of course now it sounds like you're agreeing with her about the whole,
she's not agreeing with. She's not gonna change her decision. She understands why I'm saying what I'm saying, because I had both. I had travel and I had inside. And when you're inside,
it's a hostile environment.
it's not even a hostile environment, but you know when your mom and your dad don't fuck with each other like that. They there for you and they fuck with each other for you, but if you die tomorrow, they gonna bury your ass and they moving out.
Exactly. So I see
because they no longer have that they have nothing holding them together. So you can see that, and you can have your breakfast, but are you gonna have actual breakfast?
Where people are talking.
We done had some good breakfasts, then I had them uncomfortable ass
breakfast where you hear.
Did you hear clank, 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 clank? Did you hear the chew, the swallow, everything? And a kid notices that, and it's very hard to
deal with that.
It's very hard as a parent to try to explain to your child the way I feel about him is not because of you. Because as a kid, you like, well, damn, I know they're here because of me, but they miserable, and I'm here, and they here, so is it me? Even though you know it's not you, at the same time, you're a child. And your parents fucking hate each other.
And that's when I say that it's the adults.
And it's up to them to explain it to the child, but it's easier.
It's not even an explanation.
It's a process.
Yeah.
It's not even an explanation that's needed. I feel like the explanation can go, but actions speak louder than words. That's when the two people involved need to be adults. Like, you have to think, like, if you know your child is going to think that all of this is happening because of them, and you have a higher mind and of higher knowledge, and you're educated, and you understand life, and you understand the things that come with it and go with it, and you've already experienced how it is to be a child of that age and how things make you feel. Why? That is when I would say as a parent, you being selfish as fuck.
Yeah,
you can't put your feelings aside to make sure your child don't feel that way.
You have to explain that change as well, because the kid is gonna feel it. They're not retarded.
Exactly.
And the child is gonna either do two things: either come to you or act the fuck up. I was in the middle. I was
halfway there, foot in, out, in and out.
Yeah, like I did bad shit, but I didn't go to jail, and I wasn't doing coke, and I wasn't gonna do meth, but I did other shit, and I was just like, yeah, I'm free, because I was like, well, shit.
I'm grown.
If anything, because as a kid you start to play them against each other. Well, mommy cussed you out, you got in trouble with mommy, daddy gonna bail you out, and then that creates a thing, and they have to be mature enough to realize they're getting played by a fucking kid.
And I feel like that, and that's what I wouldn't want to happen. I feel like living in one house would cut down on a lot of that, because that means you still got your two parents.
That's what I'm saying. Like, with them being in the same house,
it's harder to do that.
No, it's easy to do that if they don't like each other. Trust me. Cause nigga. And
my kids gonna have to be real slick, cause I saw your slick.
Like my cousins, they saw what it meant for ugly divorce, because that's exactly my aunt had that. That's what my aunt did. She thought, well, she's smart, but that was her decision because of who she married. That just wasn't gonna work. No. And they had a really ugly divorce, and she ended up having to move with her dad, which meant she had to move away.
Away from, they had kids together?
Yeah, like it was both of them. One stayed with her and the other one left.
So the dad got custody
and yeah.
Damn,
but that's because the image and the work that they tried to do within that house was not going to work, because it is only gonna go so far. To where it's like, okay, now there becomes a point where you can no longer compromise.
Yeah.
And that's when mommy got to be like, okay,
how long can I stand?
How long you gonna be here for?
And that's where all of this that we're talking about, I'm taking extreme measures to prevent.
And by that time, that's around high school, because that's usually when, like, if you were with somebody that you didn't want to be with anymore, like high school, that's when you be like, okay, I can't do this shit no more. I can't.
It's for all of this stuff not to happen for kids. It's just us as adults. We have to make better decisions, because everything is a tumbleweed. Everything is a reaction from something else. It's just the reaction from another equation. Like, we have to take the steps to change these things.
I remember what I had to say.
What?
It just came back.
Wait, what you want to
Yeah, my question. Yeah.
Oh, well, hold on.
No, I just thought I should let that. I'm like, hey,
About time we came back. But no, that's all I'm saying is I feel like we just have to prevent that. Like, that's us. Because we don't, if we take the time to actually get to know the people we fucking before we just go on willy-nilly having kids with them. Oh, girl, I'm 8 weeks pregnant. Like, before we go around doing all that, having all these baby showers and stuff, take some time and actually get to know the person you with. No, it's okay. Know beforehand if this is somebody you can have a baby with. You need this, and there's a few things you need to know in order to know that. You need to know their values. You need to know how, when they feel about kids, do they even want kids.
You probably gotta live with them too.
Honey, that, and then like people, this whole, you shouldn't live together before marriage. I honestly disagree. You need to live with somebody before marriage.
Like, for real.
No, you really don't. And then there's a lot of stuff that you, after hand, probably won't be able to deal with, but would have known that before had you lived with them.
Yeah, but in the same thing, it's like, okay.
We're adults falling into dumb
Right,
situations.
but in the same token, people change.
People
like,
do
like
change.
that man that you fell in love with, that you were with for like 5 or 6 years, and you was like, oh, okay, I'm finna flop out
People
of
do
baby.
change, but are you changing as well? What are you doing differently? Because I don't like Beyonce, but like she said, I want to keep things how they are, so you can never say how they used to be. Everybody always talking about how the, and I'm not attacking you.
Yeah, but even if you are in a relationship and you're doing everything you're supposed to do and everything's going good, and then you transition into this new phase of a relationship, and I plop out this motherfucking kid, and then you get into your head and you're like, oh, I don't think I wanted this, because you never really know
what you want
until
you get
in certain aspects of life until it happens.
Yeah, that's definitely.
I know a lot of people that be like, I never wanted kids, and as soon as I had my baby, she saved my life. I stopped being a hoe, and I was just like,
I can see that.
okay, great.
Wow, that's like verbatim every time. Real. Literally.
So I mean, that's why when people ask me, do I want kids, I say I've always said no. I always said I didn't want kids since I was like in the 5th grade.
I've always wanted kids.
Yeah, me too.
But I have had situations where that person made me feel like I may have wanted a family, but in that same token,
Because different people.
but in the same token, I know me, and I know that I'm not going to make a rash decision like that. Like, yeah, there's a lot of niggas with good dick who can feel you and make you want to have a baby, and then you had a little bitch and they ain't nowhere to be found. And they talk a good ass game for a long ass time.
And that's why
there's definitely like both of it on both sides.
Like, there's a lot of baby daddies out there who baby mama think that they is
Deadbeats.
On point and their relationship on fleek, and your baby daddy in my inbox, baby.
Yeah,
so
once you got the baby, like y'all both out there, y'all gotta.
People change, just like in long-term relationships with no kids. People change. You're not the same person you were when you were 8.
And it also goes back to that comfortability thing, because like we were talking about like living with the person beforehand. People aren't gonna necessarily deal with all their cards like right in the beginning. So until you get more comfortable with somebody, that's when you start to they start to show you like what they're really about. They might not necessarily tell it to you, but you can see it. Like it's like, you know, you sit down and you watch people, they don't know what you're looking at them, so they start acting themselves. But when they know that the eyes are on them, they kind of got they camera view, their camera person.
It's gonna be so fucking difficult.
So, yeah.
Moving in with somebody is gonna be so difficult for me, because I like my space. I want you to leave me
For real, y'all like to have.
and you gonna be like right here.
I've been to like
right there.
college
This
and going
sounds
to
like
bars
Mary
and shit.
Jane shit right here. Dude talking about, oh yeah, I threw away your toothbrush, but you can get another one out the thing.
Right. Bro, when I was watching it, I was watching it with my mom, and she was like, Mary Jane woke up and her shit was gone, and then the camera like went to toothbrush. I was like, oh, they're right there. Just get one. And my mom was like, what's the point of them fucking and him wanting to be with her?
If I gotta have my
First of all,
now.
bitch, you knew what kind of man
No,
you had.
I would agree with you if she had, but he did not state that that's what kind of relationship you want. Now, if off the bat that's what you state and the bitch state, boom!
That's what I'm saying. If you
I'm
say
with
and that's being said, then what can you do?
But he didn't.
Yeah, and then she still tried. And
she did?
Yeah.
She didn't just leave?
No.
I could have sworn she just left.
She tried like one more night and was like,
oh, well, yeah.
She tried one more night and that nigga said, you gonna stay upstairs and I'm staying down here. I was like, cool.
Honey, when he
She
said
was like,
that,
no.
I was like, I'm gonna sleep by myself. I can sleep by my house by my damn stuff if I wanna do that shit. What I need for?
I have
Give
free,
my dog
you
that
got
one.
free room and board. You choosing to pay that light bill. I'll turn the lights off.
Because
I have a house.
The motherfucker stole my toothbrush away. I'm supposed to be here and think this is a consistent thing when he's throwing my toothbrush away every night. I can't even keep a damn toothbrush. How I'm supposed to keep a damn bed there?
Disposable toothbrushes.
Which means I'm disposable. So I ain't going. I'm keeping my own light bill.
Don't you
my
throw
own-
away your toothbrushes every now and then?
Yeah. When
But
they
my
get old.
question
Not
was-
every night. You throw away your toothbrush every night?
I throw them away like every 2 weeks.
Shit. I be too happy when the dentist give me a free one.
Anyway.
That's $1 a day.
He has to combine the this and the that.
Try and keep it low. Keep them all on the need to know. Tell everybody that we just friends, but to be honest, our platonics from the TV show. Same place, we with different folks. Case closed if they crack the code. Is it me or is you cold? Cause the feelings you ain't showing poking at your clothes. Go put a sweater on or get around. Forbidden fruit swimming in your juice. A lot of ways I can get